If you want to get ahead of most people, or better yet, make the competition irrelevant, you were probably taught that all you need to do is pick one thing, one skill, and focus on it. Spend years making tiny improvements until you become the best at it, and the world will reward you. You'll get the best jobs, the best opportunities, and make a lot of money. But then AI showed up and flipped that idea on its head. Work that used to require years of expertise can now be done in an afternoon using AI. You can create images without being an artist, analyze data without being an analyst, build products without knowing how to code. If technical skills used to be the bottleneck, today, the barrier to execution is much lower, and the competition is much higher. And that creates a real problem. If a big part of your skill gets automated, or the market changes and your skill is no longer valuable, you're exposed. Relying on a single skill has become much riskier. That doesn't mean mastery no longer matters. The best specialists are still incredibly valuable. And, of course, some careers still demand it. If you want to become a brain surgeon or play in the NBA, there aren't many shortcuts. You'll have to spend years mastering your craft if you want to become irreplaceable. But for almost everyone else, anyone who's not at the very top now faces much stronger competition from both people and AI. So there's another way, a faster and often easier way to make yourself impossible to ignore. Weirdly enough, it starts with being pretty average at 2 or 3 different things. But there's one trick. Those skills shouldn't normally go together, yet they should complement each other, because when they overlap, they create something surprisingly rare and valuable. Being in the top 20% of one skill already puts you ahead of 80% of people. But if you're in the top 20% of 3 different skills, you're suddenly competing against a much smaller group. In theory, that combination can put you in the top 1%, ahead of about 99% of people. That means you're competing with almost nobody, and that's something AI still struggles to replace. This strategy is called skill stacking. It was popularized by Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, and his career is the perfect example of why it works. If you look at his skill stack, it really comes down to 3 things: drawing, humor, and business experience. He wasn't the best artist in the world, but he could draw well enough to bring his ideas to life. He wasn't a famous CEO. He simply spent years working in corporate jobs, giving him first-hand experience with office politics, bureaucracy, and workplace culture. And he wasn't the funniest comedian, but he knew how to find the absurd side of office life and turn it into simple, relatable jokes. None of those skills were extraordinary on their own, but when he combined them, he created something almost no one else could. That became Dilbert, a comic strip that connected with millions of office workers around the world and made him millions. A great artist couldn't have created it alone. They might have had the drawing skills, but not the corporate experience that made Dilbert feel authentic. And a great business executive couldn't have created it either. They might have understood office life, but they didn't know how to turn it into a funny comic. His unfair advantage wasn't one extraordinary skill. It was a unique combination of ordinary ones. And that's exactly what made him valuable, rare, and difficult to compete with. This idea isn't new. Entrepreneur James Altucher calls it combining ideas. He jokes that innovation happens through what he calls idea sex. Take 2 seemingly unrelated things people already know or love, combine them, and suddenly you have a product, a business, or an idea that never existed before. One of his favorite examples is Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. The story itself wasn't original. It was already more than 1,400 years old and had been painted hundreds of times. But Da Vinci brought something new to it. He studied human anatomy by dissecting bodies to understand muscles and bone structure. He also spent countless hours sketching people in everyday life, capturing how they talked, moved, and expressed emotion. Earlier paintings of the Last Supper were mostly flat and emotionless, but Da Vinci combined his knowledge of anatomy, his observations of real people, and one of history's greatest stories. The result was one of the most famous paintings ever created. The story wasn't new, his combination was. So, how do you find these rare combinations? Instead of waiting for inspiration, James Altucher suggests a simple exercise. Make two lists. This can be anything: ideas, skills, industries, feelings. Then start mixing them together. Actively. Do it every day. Have fun with it. Most combinations will be terrible, but every now and then you'll discover something valuable. James says several of his million-dollar ideas came from this exact practice. And today, this way of thinking matters more than ever. AI is incredibly good at recognizing patterns. It can write like Shakespeare or paint like Leonardo. Because those styles already exist, the data is there. AI can copy what's already been created, but it couldn't have invented those styles in the first place. So that's the opportunity. The future will belong to the people who create new combinations that feel fresh and original. And building a unique skill stack is one of the best ways to become one of them. So how do you actually build your own skill stack? When people hear skill stacking, they often imagine something extreme: learning to code like a software engineer, getting another degree, or completely changing careers. But that's not the point. The goal isn't to reinvent yourself. It's to find unique ways to combine the skills and experiences you already have. This means starting with your strongest skill and thinking about what could make it even more valuable. For example, imagine you're a software engineer. There are thousands of great engineers. Now imagine you're also a good public speaker. Suddenly, you're no longer competing with every engineer. You're competing with the much smaller group of engineers who can confidently present ideas on stage. You don't have to be the best engineer or the best speaker, but the combination makes you much more valuable. When a company needs an engineer to present at a conference or explain a complex product to customers, you're the obvious choice. That's the idea behind a skill stack. And once you've combined two skills, keep stacking. Maybe you learn a little bit of sales, or design, or marketing. Each new skill increases the value of the others. And the more unusual the combination, the more unique you become. For most people, 3 to 5 complementary skills are enough to make them really stand out. So, which skills should you choose? Scott Adams believed communication, whether written, visual, or spoken, should almost always be one of them. Because no matter what industry you're in, your ability to communicate multiplies the value of everything else you know. And public speaking is one of the best skills to add first. Why? Because most people are terrified of it, so becoming even reasonably good at public speaking already puts you ahead of the crowd. Talking about combining skills, investor Naval Ravikant said that you should learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. Because someone who can create value and communicate it is far harder to replace than someone who can only do one. Now, once you've chosen the skill you want to add to your skill stack, you can use the Pareto principle to learn it. If 20% of the effort gives you 80% of the results, focus on learning the 20% that will help you understand 80% of the topic. Then move on and stack another skill. But there's another way to build an unfair combination. Sometimes you don't need to learn a new skill at all. You just need to take your existing skills into a different industry. There's a proverb I love: "In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king." It means that even a small advantage becomes a huge advantage when nobody else has it. Take software developers, for example. Most compete against other software developers. In tech companies, everyone knows the same tools. Everyone has a similar skill stack. It's a crowded red ocean. Now take that same developer and put them in healthcare, or law, or construction. In those industries, far fewer people understand software, so that same developer becomes instantly more valuable. Nothing about their skills changed, only the environment did. And when you combine skills or industries that don't usually go together, you create your own blue ocean. You gain a perspective that very few people have. You discover opportunities that others can't see, and you face far less competition. This way, you can stand out even if you're pretty darn average.